Tilburg, a city where the municipality invests more and more in social entrepreneurial activities.
A city which believes in social innovations and creating the behavioral changes that are needed in order to tackle the major challenges in modern-day societies.
A city where the creative, entrepreneurial mind of the young is reflected in a university that brings together 85 nationalities.
A home for more than 13,000 students, where the colors from around the world meet.
Colors that we, Enactus Tilburg University, bring together in a growing team of 98 members, working together to build the future.
Every month, our action team spreads color throughout the city. These actions might not have a long-term impact per se, but we identify immediate local needs, provide solutions, and raise awareness while working on our team spirit. By doing this, we create instant, short-term socioeconomic impact.
Regarding our projects, we want the colors that we add to be long-lasting, and that is why we enact our mission: to create sustainable and entrepreneurial projects that benefit both individuals and society.
Through 11 projects, we not only learn to bridge the gap between theory and practice, but also we apply our knowledge to better society. The three of us are excited to present to you today about how our members of Enactus Tilburg University have made it yet another successful year.
Hi, I'm Robert, and I am from Curaçao.
Hello, my name is Manu, and I am Dutch.
I'm Francis, and I'm English and Dutch. And representing Tilburg University is our colorful team.
Today, we will present to you 3 of our new entrepreneurial concepts that show the energy and creativity of our team. These are Futuro Colorido, Less, and A Helping Plant. We will also take you back to a familiar territory of ours, Save a Bike, to show that we continue to innovate our already sustainable projects.
Beautiful white beaches running into the blue Caribbean waters. This is probably the first thing that comes to mind when thinking of Curaçao. But Enactus is all about seeking improvement. The younger generation has been hit hard by the economic crisis, with the youth unemployment rate hitting a staggering 37% by the end of 2013. Our team identified a need. Students that lack experience have difficulties entering the labor market. Our team saw this issue, sought opportunities, and jumped into action.
We took our paintbrushes and proceeded by organizing 2 pilots in August and December. The team worked hard to equip an after-school daycare center with playground materials made from recycled tires and pallets. After bringing our colors to the front page, we managed to attract the interest of a large partner, Rotaract, and received significant funding for our second pilot, where, together on the island with the youngsters, we used recyclable objects to build 2 football fields.
This eye-opening pilot emphasized the technical skills that the youth has and the ease with which recyclable materials can be obtained, resulting in Futuro Colorido. We use an entrepreneurial approach to create opportunities for the students on the island, while also addressing environmental issues.
Futuro Colorido's model primarily targets students with a technical education. These students... So, what happened with the presentation? These students are assigned to build a piece of furniture, reusing waste materials collected and provided by our team. The products of their assignments will be sold and graded, and the revenues generated will be reinvested in the project, creating a self-sustaining, colorful business. Together with the internship coordinator, we will set up a list of grading criteria, of course recognized among our future partners. This grade improves their probability of getting a legit internship at a home improvement store with the possibility of getting a job after its termination. But how will we monitor these technical students?
The team thought of a solution and included another partner, the University of Curaçao. University students will be offered the opportunity to be the project managers, and thereby they can put their managerial skills into practice while improving their CV. And this is important, as they have trouble to compete with students that return from abroad.
This year, the Futuro Colorido team brought together new partners, setting a steady foundation in the island through our 2 successful pilots. Together with the new partners from the university and the technical schools, we have agreed to launch the new Futuro Colorido editions by the beginning of next semester.
The beauty of this concept is that it only takes a shift in perspective to change waste, such as pallets and tires, into building materials and furniture. In doing so, we improve the environment and generate revenue in a self-sustaining business that brightens the future of our beautiful youth.
By combining the youth's diverse skill sets and the recyclable materials, Futuro Colorido is literally and metaphorically using the paintbrush to bring the youth on the island to a more colorful future.
What is more urgent for a society than meeting our basic needs?
And what is more satisfying than figuring out a way to cut expenses and preserve the environment?
What is more attractive than an investment to reduce utility bills?
This year's Alliander Challenge drew our attention to the problem of energy poverty within the Netherlands. We find it unfair to see low-income households having to pay high energy bills, which led to the birth of this concept. This is our project LESS. It is called LESS, but actually stands for more. With LESS, we mean less cost, less energy waste, and less discomfort. But we also mean more savings, more sustainability, and better living standards.
This project targets low-income families that live in rented social housing. These houses are often old and insulated very badly. Therefore, they use unnecessarily high amounts of energy for heating.
The idea is simple yet powerful. Insulation materials are installed to reduce energy costs. So the monthly energy savings will be reserved to pay back an initial investment. So how does this exactly work?
The housing agency, TBV Wonen, will help us to spread color. They will provide funding for installation materials, and we can empower reintegration workers by involving them in the installation process. They will place the materials, but guided by an expert from Midpoint Brabant. This is another social workforce partner. Hereby, the reintegration workers will gain a lot of experience and training.
Ultimately, the investment by the housing company will be paid back on a 3 to 5 year time horizon, as the monthly energy savings will be used to repay the housing agency prior to the reduction in energy costs. The agency selects the families that can benefit most from this project and proposes the opportunity.
What's interesting about this project is that the long-term financial condition of low-income households improves. Meanwhile, reintegration workers receive training and better employment perspectives. Not only did the Alliander Challenge spark the idea for LESS, but the judges also recognized the potential of our project by rewarding us with the first prize of €1,250 to start spreading color.
For now, we are negotiating the blueprint of this project with the housing company. Our pilot targets 10 households because we want to acquire an accurate representation of the energy savings before scaling up the project. We expect to obtain these estimates within 8 months after approval.
To sum up, reintegration workers will be trained to install insulation materials, which helps low-income families reduce their utility costs while cutting CO2 emissions. We want a long-term impact on society for more sustainability with less cost. And this is exactly what Project LESS stands for. As our slogan states,
less is more. Aside from these new initiatives, we want to remind you of a project that has already entered the sustainable phase. Blue is not only the color of our team, but also the color by which the bicycles from Save a Bike color the city center of Tilburg. We use abandoned bikes to repair at a reintegration center. Hereby, we employ reintegration workers. We generate revenues by selling these bikes to students and renting them out. This contributes to a cleaner city, but most importantly, it combats unemployment as it provides work and prepares reintegration workers to get back into the labor market.
Some of you might think, why are you presenting Save a Bike again? Wasn't this project already sustainable? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is. However, at Enactus Tilburg University, we are always seeking to further improve our projects with innovative additions. Last year's project revenues of €12,000 gave us the possibility to refocus on our target group's potential to find steady employment.
We recognize two significant needs. First, the bike workplace at the reintegration center shields the workers from a realistic work environment. And second, the reintegration workers lack the necessary credentials in order to successfully apply for a job outside the reintegration center.
We saw an opportunity to bring our workers into society by introducing a bike repair station at our campus. Here, workers can practice their newly acquired social skills by interacting with members of society. Meanwhile, students will gain a valuable facility and Save a Bike is promoted on campus. After a period of negotiations, the university agreed to open up a location for the shop, an underused bike garage, within 6 weeks. It's now up to us to make further arrangements and equip the shop to open its doors. This shows that Tilburg University not only understands society, but also adds color.
At the repair shop, reintegration workers get to interact with society, which increases their social skill development. These improvements will make their lives more colorful by boosting their self-esteem and standard of living. With these new ventures, we bring the social objectives to the forefront with more emphasis on long-term improvements.
But let me take you back to the entrepreneurial aspect. This year, we provided 114 students with a bicycle, generating revenues of 7,000 euros. But most importantly, 19 reintegration workers were active to achieve this, while 7 have been successfully deployed back into the labor market.
So Save a Bike successfully uses old bikes to create new opportunities. It does so by bolstering the position of reintegration workers in the labor market and now also in wider society. The workers are better prepared to gain their own future income, while affordable bikes that have been recycled are offered to students. So this means that we recycle, you cycle.
Our next project targets one of the effects of the economic crisis, but now from a local perspective. It was brought to our attention that the food bank has been unable to provide a complete and healthy package for vulnerable groups. This was caused by a dramatic rise in the number of households dependent on food donations by 30%. In response, the food bank has launched agricultural initiatives that will take effect within 2 to 3 years, with the goal of providing a structural supply of healthy food.
In line with this goal of the food bank, the project A Helping Plant seeks to bridge this gap by bringing our revolutionary idea to reduce these shortages at the food bank. So how exactly are we going to add value to this already existing system?
Our team has partnered with OVAT and Pluk and Plenty, which provide us with the knowledge of farming, the seeds, and the location to put the greenhouses. Meanwhile, the team collects bottles and does the construction. The harvest will then be shipped to the food bank where the distribution takes place. Finally, we will take this concept a step further by collaborating with our partners in workshops. Our intention is to teach and inspire vulnerable groups about the ease with which they can supplement their own dinner table with colorful and healthy food to produce themselves.
We designed a greenhouse together with a mechanical engineer that utilizes predominantly used materials. The foundation will be constructed from wood, the walls from used plastic bottles, and the roof will consist of strengthened plastic. But how is this different from the average garden?
Well, the roof has an interchangeable color design. This allows us to moderate the temperatures depending on the weather and the plant type to foster rapid growth. And what's more, we are able to produce a steady supply of fresh, nutritious food even in our chilly winter months.
Lastly, we initiated a pilot to test the durability and productivity of our greenhouse. This pilot highlighted the need to find more sustainable ways to procure the resources that we need for this greenhouse. Currently, we are pursuing these via sponsorship deals. Overall, this was our first step towards combating shortages at the food bank. Our goal for next year is to scale up this project and construct 10 greenhouses in Tilburg.
Throughout the development of this project, we have combined interested parties, set in motion a practical model, and taken action to provide poor households access to sufficient and healthy food to lead a colorful life.
Through workshops on how to tend crops, this project can serve as a blueprint to encourage people to grow their own products at home. Overall, we will reduce the food bank's dependency on donations, and in return, we aim to inspire our target group to also rely less on handouts.
Throughout the year, we have added color to our society. We did so by collaborating with our 25 partners and 8 business advisory board members. We have 11 projects in which we impacted 56 people. We generated revenues of 38,000 euros, of which 7,900 directly come from our entrepreneurial activities.
The enthusiasm of our 98 members ensures our team's sustainability and the unmistakable presence of our projects in society.
This year, we have traveled across the Atlantic, bringing opportunity to the youth by focusing on the skills they excel at, while improving their job market opportunities and using discarded material.
We are addressing energy poverty through our award-winning concept, in which investments in insulation materials lower utility bills and CO2 emissions.
We are adding another step up the social ladder for reintegration workers by providing them the opportunity to really connect to society.
And lastly, we have developed and introduced a revolutionary concept that can be scaled up at a national level to alleviate shortages at the food bank.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your pencils down and leave the forms for what they are. Let us tell you what we have actually learned this year.
We have learned about the beauty of this colorful team. Some of you might think that we may have had a difficult start to this year and that our team needed a year to recover. In fact, the opposite happened. We faced our obstacles, turned them into opportunities, and used them to our advantage. Something that is preparing us for the struggles we may face in the business world. Instead of falling apart, we enlarged our team with amazing numbers, added new projects to our portfolio, but most importantly, we brought color to people's lives. No setback can stop us from doing a good thing. Because we believe that when you taste a bit of your passion, your heart craves for more and more. More teamwork, more leadership, more social engagement, but most importantly, more of Enactus, Tilburg University.
Thank you, Tilburg University. We will now start the Q&A session, and only judges are allowed to ask questions. Mr. Haakman.
Thank you. Well, it's very colorful. First of all, I have a question. Futuro Colorido. Did you try this in Curaçao only? Did you try this in other, like Aruba, Bonaire? Is there any request for that? That's question number one. Two, less is more. How many houses, what's the quantitative results? How many houses you have been sort of making more environmental friendly? And last to note, your bicycles are much cheaper than in the last presentation. So very well done.
Well, I'm going to start off by answering your question on Futuro Colorido. We have a team consisting of people from Curaçao and Aruba. And actually, we are already planning. We didn't present it because we didn't think we wanted to focus on the entrepreneurial aspect at the moment. But we are actually already starting our preparations for the pilots this summer in Aruba. So what's going to happen this summer is that we're going to start the pilots in Aruba, make the project famous on the island before starting the new concept, which we will start at the beginning of the new semester in Curaçao.
To summarize, this idea of the island of Curaçao will be the blueprint for the whole idea of Futuro Colorido.
And we actually want to take it to all the islands, if possible.
And with regard to your question on less, currently our initiative is looking at starting a pilot with 10 households, as we mentioned in our presentation, but we're looking to scale up the number of households. The pilot is mainly focused on getting an understanding of the energy efficiency that the insulation materials provide, and then we want to scale it up to 100 households. It's unlimited as far as we're concerned. But we're looking first at Tilburg, and then we'll expand, hopefully, to the rest of the Netherlands.
And it's important to first know what the advantages will be of these investments, because we need those to explain other housing companies what the possibilities are regarding investment opportunities for them.
And Save a Bike?
Okay. Yeah.
Your last question regarding Save a Bike. Indeed, we have reduced the cost of our bikes, and successfully we have sold another 100 we have
19.
provided the students with 114 bikes. And this is because we use our network. We use the parties that we have in different organizations, in different projects, to combine the skills, create synergies, and eventually matching the need with abundance and reduce the cost of our bikes. So that's hopefully an answer to your question.
I have a question on Project Less. You're making use of quite a number of partners. And I was wondering what exactly your role is in this project.
If I may answer that question. Regarding the whole associations with the housing associations trying to reduce the cost of the houses, this is currently a plan. Currently, they're doing this separately. All organizations. What we do, we provide the facilitating role. We bring the parties together, but we connect a new addition to this already existing concept. That is the social aspect. We provide reintegration workers, giving them a chance to re-enter to the labor market, but also we match the need with the abundance. They are able to learn new skills, develop new skill sets, and eventually provide housing associations and the families with a lower reduced bill. So it is not about what is our role, it's about how we combine all the parties and how we create the social aspect of Enactus and put it into this already existing idea.
In terms of reducing the employment in Curaçao, can you say something about the success of it?
Well,
in terms of reducing unemployment?
At the moment, I know for sure that a lot of these students, they finish an arbeidsgerichte onderwijs. When they finish this, they do this by doing, before they finish it, they need to do a small internship. But this internship often doesn't concern what they actually study at school or what they actually need to practice. Because of this problem, when they go to apply for another job, someone else who has more experience than them takes this job. So Futuro Colorido actually enables them to get an internship, an internal internship at the arbeidsgerichte onderwijs that focuses on the skills that they have to improve. By doing this, they get a grade. This grade is recognized among the future partners, as we say. And because of this grade, the partners already know that they do have the skills that are necessary in order to get this job. So in this sense, we are not giving them a job, obviously, but we are...
Your time has expired. Apologies. Everyone, please join me in thanking the team of Tilburg for their hard work this year.